Hi guys, I am testing all of the comparable bags to Lululemon's famous everyday bag. One from Konkin, from North Face, Vans, from Dick's Sporting Goods, their DSG brand, and Amazon. So we're gonna show you all of the things about all of them, compare the straps, the quality of the fabric, price, everything, and then decide if truly the Lululemon is worth the hype or if you've got a better option out there for your needs. Okay, so the first one I want to look at is the Lululemon. I am going to measure the strap because I feel like it has a really nice, thick, chunky strap. It is exactly 1.5 inches, guys. 1.5 inches. It's definitely long enough to have it like sitting way down, or you can sit it up tighter. I also like that it has the big, chunky plastic snap. I don't know, it feels just kind of like utility version, not like fancy version. On the outside, the only pocket is on the back. Then it has the top pocket, of course, the main one, that has two like little sleevey inserts. This one's divided in half. This one is a single. The teeth on it are really wide. I find that these are less likely to break, even if you're tugging and pulling on them, which I appreciate. This one was 38. So I have to now see if we can find one that we think is better, or at least pretty much as good, because I know these are really hard to find. Also, 38 is not like crazy expensive, but it's a little pricier for a little belt bag. Let's see if we can find anything better. Next up, we are going to try DSG, which is the Dick's Sporting Goods version. First of all, the thing I noticed immediately was the size of the strap. This one's only 1 inch. Funny how much a 1/2 inch difference makes. It is like nice and thick. I feel like it's sturdy, but it also, because the strap's not as thick, the buckle is also a little less impressive and a less, I don't know, doesn't quite have that like utility feel to it, which I like. On the back, it's not sewn. Like, it has a pocket, so this strap slides, which I think would be annoying. Sits in about the same spot, extended. Material-wise, honestly, they're really similar. I feel like the look, the feel, the shine, and probably durability is gonna be really close. It does have an outside pocket on the front, which I actually like, because I think if you have it on, I do feel like it's harder. The back zip is right here, because you have to kind of like lean everything forward. So I do feel like it's easier if there's an outside pocket, a second pocket on the front side. Lululemon's is on the back. Inside, we find another hidden secret zip pocket, which I kind of like. I like that it's not just a compartment. I like that it's an actual zipped pocket, because I think then if you put coins or things, like, you can kind of just separate a little easier. Things don't get mixed up. And that's it. So inside you just have one giant compartment and then the little zippered pocket. It also has this little clip, I guess, for keys, you know, or something. So if you wanted to, maybe hand sanitizer, something you wanted to find easy. The zipper, however, is a smaller toothed zipper. So I don't know, on durability, maybe a little less. I'm noticing Lululemon only has one zipper. I don't know what this is called. End. Does this have a name? Closure? This one has two. If you like not having to look for which side only holds the closure, this one, you know what I mean, has one on each side for you. And this one is 25. Honestly, I think other than the strap, if they had done a chunky strap and like sewn it down, this would have been really, really good. Okay, the next one, Vans. I don't know what's going on with this one. It is definitely a different material. It feels more like parachute pants almost. I don't like the material. I do think that, can you see the pattern on that? It has the Vans checks, which is kind of cool inside. Cute little added detail, but other than that, not my favorite. This is Lululemon. It's a little more rectangular looking. Vans is a little more, I don't know if you can see it as well in real life, but it is a little more like squared off. It only has the one zip closure and it's on the front. There literally is no compartment separation inside. It's just the one pocket, which that sucks. On the back, it's got, again, a slidey, and it has this weird, I don't even know what this is. What is this exactly? I feel like this is a lanyard a school teacher would like carry around with their ID on the front, but I don't know what this serves for a purpose. You can unhook it, but then you've got these little brackets on the back holding it on, which I dislike. Also, again, strap is very thin, 1 inch. I don't feel like it's as long. It has this little coin, I think it's a coin pocket, mask pocket. You could make it lots of things. On there, this one is 32. 100%, if you're gonna spend $32, you might as well spend 35, 38, get your Lululemon. I don't like that one. Not my favorite. Okay, next one is, I can never say this, guys, Fjallraven Kanken, I think. Okay, check it out. Thin strap, it's a 1 incher. That means the clasp is a less chunky. This one does extend quite a bit. Guess what? It's sewn on, so it's gonna stay in place. I'm assuming this is some kind of like ventilation, so that if you're wearing it like on your hip, it breathes better. It does look like it has that vented fabric to it. On the back side, kind of like Lululemon, you have a zipper pocket. And on the top, you do have a dual closure. It has a little strappy for your keys or hand sanitizer. Inside, there's one big compartment and then one little separated pocket. Bonus, this one has a third pocket on the front. Downside to this one is, it is $44. So a little more expensive, but if you wanted the extra pocket or closure, I think that's good. When you lay them on top of each other, I would say that the Kanken has the Lululemon by probably an inch on the sides. So I do think you're gonna get a little more depth here, and so you're gonna have a little bit bigger pocket space. One of my pet peeves, if I were gonna have a peeve with the Lululemon, is when I'm wearing it, I literally can only get like my wallet and my phone and maybe a chapstick before it's like full. For me, like I'm the girl that likes to carry hand sanitizer and sunglasses, so sometimes that's annoying. This one, I do feel like you'd get a little more in. This one feels a little tiny bit, I don't know how to explain it, like maybe just a little thinner, like maybe the weave is a little looser than the Lululemon, but I wouldn't be concerned about this one. Like it doesn't feel cheap or like it's gonna fall apart. We're gonna do the next bag, and this is the most expensive one at $50. It's a North Face bag. Again, a 1-inch strap. It is fairly long. You can see it's got plenty of space. A little bit different looking buckle, but still the same size. It has two little hooks right here. It has these little drawstring, things right here. And it's padded on the back, so it's, I think, it probably would sit comfortably if you were wearing it because it has a little extra padding right there. It is more of like that parachute pant material versus the Lululemon's like a little slicker fabric, and this one feels more like literally like a parachute. Main pocket is a double closure, big zipper, which I like, big tooth zipper. It pretty much has one big pocket and then one kind of like a separated area. It's almost the same size. It does have the little hook for keys or hand sanitizer. And then it has another secondary front pocket. This one actually is fully lined. I don't know if you can see this, but with fleece. So that one's a little thicker feeling. It would probably be great in the winter and feel hot in the summer. Overall, I think this bag, it's a little bigger for sure. It's at least a couple inches longer and probably an inch deeper. So it's definitely a little more spacious. The thing with this one for me is I think that it's a good bag. It's definitely the most expensive, but it feels a little like rock climbing to me. Like it almost feels like a cross between somebody's chalk bag and a belt bag. If you're into like mountain climbing and that's your jam, like if you're one of the, people who wears climbing pants all the time and has climbing gear in your back of the car, then you probably would like this. I think for the everyday woman shopping, like, soccer mom or millennial, this is probably more your jam. Plus with the price difference, I mean, you could almost buy 2 colors of the Lululemon for 1 of the North Face, and to me, I'd rather have 2 colors. Okay, last but not least is Amazon. I know you guys are all waiting for this one. I would actually call this a true dupe for the Lululemon bag. I can tell who, I'll do the link in the description box below, but whatever vendor has done this has intentionally styled it very, very similarly to the Lululemon. It is only $14, so it's less than half of the price. So if you are somebody that, money's tight or you want lots of colors, I think, this is probably a good bet because it's very similar. Width-wise on the strap, it is basically 1 1/4. So it's thicker than our 1-inchers, but it's not as thick as Lululemon. The buckle is a little thicker, again, to match the strap. It is sewn on the back, on the sides. I'll show you Lululemon again. You can see the sew on there, sew on this one. It feels very similar in fabric. It's got a little more shine. Can you see that? A little more sheen to the fabric. This is a little softer, which tells me it's probably a little nicer weave. It feels like it has a little more like plastic in it, but it feels like it's gonna be durable. Not as cool a zipper. It's a small tooth zipper. 1 closure on the top when you open it up. Very similar structure in here. 1 main pocket with kind of like your side compartment, and then your 2 like separated side compartments on this side. And of course you've got the pocket on the back, again, a small zipper. So honestly, this one, if you're doing like straight up lookalikes, this one is definitely the closest to the Lululemon, and for the price, I mean, it's not bad. Pretty much you're getting the same look except the little Lululemon tag on it and a little bit less wide on your strap. It sits about the same spot. Definitely a good option. Oh, look who's here wearing her.
I like my Lululemon. I think my second would be the Conkin, but I wish the strap was thicker.
Me too. I think if you asked me, I think everybody wants the Lululemon. I think the Amazon is a killer dupe for the price. The Dick's one, I like that has the third pocket on it a lot, like the Conkin, but it's cheaper. Okay, Ryan's gonna give us her opinion now too.
If I couldn't get my hands on the Lululemon one,
Would it be your first pick still?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because it's the trendiest and everyone's wearing it?
Yeah. Only because that. But honestly, I have a dupe already in gray, so like I would lean towards the Amazon one, or I like the Dick's Sporting Goods one. Super like durable. Like I could throw it.
I also like the third pocket.
Probably the Amazon.
Which bag do you like, Ash? Which bag? Which bag do you like? Eloise, which one?
We're sitting here looking at the bags, and after looking at them for a minute or two, I do think that the North Face one has a little more masculine look to it, maybe. Like, I actually think Sean, of all of the ones I have here, one I think Sean would be the most likely to wear is probably the North Face of the ones I have. I have another North Face bag that's bigger that I like better than this one because it's quite a bit bigger. Sean stole it from me, wears it everywhere. But I do think that he might like this one as well. The funniest part was the other day after he saw this, he goes, after he started wearing the North Face one, he goes, oh, I can carry so much stuff in it. I can carry like aspirin, and I'm like, you mean you finally figured out why women carry purses? It was just so funny. That's a wrap, guys. I hope that you guys have found a bag that you think you'll enjoy, that fits your budget, that is the quality you want. Leave me a comment below and tell me which bags you would buy. I will put all of the links in the description box so you can find them all, and we will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you can do that by clicking here. Of course, you can find lots of other videos over here, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.